Have you ever had the feeling that something big is about to happen, but you can't quite define what it is? As if you were walking through a dark corridor, feeling that a door will open at any moment, but not knowing what is on the other side. This is the impact of March. Unlike other months, it doesn't arrive silently. It marks the end of a cycle and prepares the ground for something new. It's not just a change in the calendar, but a period of transformation that can directly affect your emotions, relationships, and decisions. This month, 3 astrological events will shape the path ahead. The new moon in Pisces, bringing an invitation for introspection and renewal. The retrograde of Venus, which challenges the way we perceive love, relationships, and what we truly value. The first eclipse of the year, a turning point that can redefine your trajectory. If, in the last few days, you have felt an inexplicable emotional fatigue, had intense dreams, or noticed past situations returning, it is not a coincidence. The energies of this period are pushing for changes to happen, whether you are prepared or not. The big question is, how to get through this phase without losing yourself. How to turn this turbulence into a point of growth. That's exactly what we are going to explore. If you want to understand how March can be one of the most important months of the year for your personal growth, stay with me. The new moon in Pisces and the emotional restart. On March 3rd, the new moon in Pisces marks one of the most important moments of this astrological cycle. Unlike the other phases of the new moon represents a fresh start, a starting point for new intentions and internal changes. But what makes this one in Pisces so special? Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, carrying all the wisdom of the previous cycles. This new moon not only invites renewal, but also calls for a deep emotional cleansing. It brings to the surface repressed feelings, unconscious patterns, and everything that needs to be resolved before the new cycle begins. This period is marked by a sensitive and intuitive energy, which can make emotions more intense. Vivid dreams, nostalgia, and even a sense of mental fatigue are common. This happens because Pisces rules the subconscious, causing internal issues to come to the surface. It is a moment of connection with intuition and internal listening. Moreover, this new moon occurs in a numerological year of number 9, which represents endings and preparation for a new stage of life. In other words, the impact of this event will not be fleeting. It has the power to define the way we deal with emotions and relationships in the coming months. But how to harness this energy consciously? The first step is to allow yourself to pause and reflect. During this phase, it is essential to avoid impulsive decisions, as emotions will be deeper and not always clear. Practices such as meditation, therapeutic writing, and moments of solitude can help understand what truly needs to be renewed. Another essential point is paying attention to the environment and external influences. Since Pisces easily absorbs the energy around them, it is important to surround themselves with situations and people that bring well-being. Activities that stimulate creativity, such as listening to music, drawing, or spending time in nature, can be especially beneficial. This new moon marks an invitation to inner transformation. What needs to be left behind? Which emotions still carry unnecessary weight? This is the ideal moment for these answers to emerge, guiding each one into a new cycle with more clarity and lightness. Venus retrograde and the review of relationships. Starting on March 1 Street, Venus enters retrograde in the sign of Aries, marking the beginning of a period of deep reflections on love, relationships, and personal values. When a planet is retrograde, finances. When it is in Aries, its energy becomes more impulsive, intense, and directed towards individual desires. However, when it goes into retrograde, this force of action loses its rhythm, requiring a more careful analysis of relationships and what truly makes sense for each person. During this period, it is common for old relationship dynamics to resurface. Repetitive patterns may become more evident, showing where there are unresolved challenges. Some people may feel the need to distance themselves from certain connections, while others may encounter unexpected reunions. The most delicate aspect of this phase lies in the tendency towards impulsive decisions based on momentary needs or Frustrations. Relationships may seem more tense, arguments may intensify, and misunderstandings may arise due to differences in expectations. But the true lesson of the retrograde is not in the ending or the maintenance of something, but in the reflection on what truly makes sense in the long run. Another important point of this transit is the impact on self-esteem and self-worth. Retrograde. Venus does not only question external connections, but also how each person sees themselves within them. This is an ideal time to evaluate whether your choices in relationships reflect respect and self-love, or if they are based on fear of loneliness and the need for approval. To deal with this phase more balancedly, it is essential to avoid impulsive attitudes. Before making definitive decisions about a relationship, reflect on whether the motivation comes from a real problem or temporary emotions. Take this time to strengthen your relationship with yourself, rediscovering what you truly want and deserve. This movement of Venus calls for a sincere look at relationships, encouraging clarity about what needs to be adjusted. Lunar eclipse of the year occurs, and this time, it happens in the sign of Virgo. Unlike a regular full moon, which usually brings emotions to the surface, an eclipse amplifies this effect, acting as a turning point in the lives of many people. Virgo is a sign associated with organization, discipline, and detailed analysis. When an eclipse occurs under this influence, it reveals flaws, harmful patterns, and everything that needs to be adjusted so that we can move forward in a more structured way. Many people may feel the need to put their lives in order, whether in the emotional, professional, or even daily habits. This event represents a moment of cuts and conclusions. Situations that have been unstable for some time can be resolved definitively. Relationships that no longer make sense may come to an end. Unexpected changes may arise in the workplace, and even internal issues, such as insecurities and limiting beliefs, can be challenged. Moreover, this eclipse carries an energy of reality and pragmatism, requiring everyone to look at their life with more objectivity. If there is something that is not working, this will be the moment to see the truth without filters. Ignoring signs or clinging to the past can make this phase more difficult, as the purpose of the eclipse is precisely to accelerate processes that were somehow already being delayed. Another characteristic of this phenomenon is the impact on physical well-being. Since Virgo governs the body and healthy habits, this period can serve as a warning for health-related issues. If there is a pattern of exhaustion, stress, or neglect of the body, this could be the turning point for important changes. To make the most of this energy, it is essential to be open to what needs to be transformed. Instead of resisting changes, try to observe what the universe is trying to show. If something leaves your life during this period, trust that this ending is part of a larger cycle, and that something more aligned with your purpose will soon emerge. This eclipse marks a call for personal evolution and the letting go of what no longer serves. Those who can understand this moment as an opportunity and not as an obstacle will have the chance to start a new cycle with more clarity, purpose, and balance. Martem Capricornio e construo de metas es lidas. No dia 9 de Mara Mart entra no signo de Capricornio, trazendo uma energia voltada para a disciplina, determinao e construo de resultados concretos. Marte o planeta da iniciativa, da coragem e da fora de vontade. E quando estem Capricornio, sua energia se torna mais focada e estratégica, diferente de sua manifestação impulsiva em outros signos. Aqui Marte trabalha com paciência, priorizando esforços que geram resultados duradouros. Externcito favores planejamento a longo prazo, especialmente em áreas como carreira, negócios e objetivos pessoais. Quem vinha adiando decisões importantes pode sentir impulso maior para estruturar e seguir caminho mais organizado. Capricornio signo que valoriza o esforço continuo esperado traz uma oportunidade de consolidar projetos e criar bases sólidas para o futuro. das Charakter, Stykes, mais marcantes, dessa fase a capacidade de agir com maturidade e responsabilidade. A impulsividade perde espaço para a estratégia e as escalas tendem a ser feitas com base na estabilidade e no realismo. Isso significa que em vez de buscar saltos rápidos e temporários, a tendência é ser investir em processos que tragam crescimento consistente. Por essa energia também pode aumentar o peso das responsabilidades e das cobranças. Marte em Capricórnio exige esforço, comprometimento e trabalho árduo, o que pode gerar sentimento de pressão para alcançar metas. Se houver acúmulo excessivo de obrigas, este sido pode intensificar a sensação de sobrecarga e cansado físico. Para aproveitar essa fase da melhor forma, essential estabelecer metas claras e realistas. Trabalhar com organização e manter ritmo constante ser mais produtivo do que tentar resolver tudo de uma vez. É momento propício para avançar em projetos profissionais. Buscar estabilidade financeira e fortalecer hábitos que exigem disciplina, como atividades físicas e planejamento financeiro. Este sido traz a mensagem de que o sucesso não acontece por acaso, mas sim como resultado de persistência e dedico. Aqueles que souberem canalizar essa energia com inteligência terão a chance de construir algo sólido e significativo para o futuro. The square between the Sun and Jupiter, and the conflict between emotion and reason. On March 12th, a tense aspect occurs between the Sun in Pisces and Jupiter in Gemini, creating a square that can bring challenges in how we balance emotion and rationality. The Sun represents our identity and purpose, while Jupiter is associated with expansion, the pursuit of knowledge and opportunities. When these two planets come into conflict, there is a clash between what we feel and how we interpret the information around us. This transit can create a dilemma between following intuition or relying solely on logic. Many people may feel an impulse to make bold decisions or seek new paths, but the lack of clarity can lead to choices based on exaggerations or unrealistic expectations. There is a tendency to overestimate one's own abilities, or to believe in promises that seem too good to be true. Another common effect of this square is the difficulty in maintaining focus. As Jupiter amplifies everything it touches, the mind can become scattered, jumping from one idea to another without depth. What once seemed certain, causing some people to feel the need to explore new perspectives or revise concepts that were deeply rooted. To handle this energy in a balanced way, it is important to practice discernment. Before committing to major changes, it is worth reflecting on whether the motivation comes from a genuine desire or just a search for quick answers. Anchoring exercises, such as reflective writing and structured planning, can help bring more clarity. This square between the Sun and Jupiter brings a test on how we handle information and decisions. Those who can find a middle ground between emotion and reason will have the opportunity to expand their horizons without losing stability. The lunar eclipse in Virgo and the need for purification on March 14. The lunar eclipse in Virgo occurs, one of the most significant events of this astrological cycle. Eclipses always bring significant changes, acting as turning points that accelerate processes already underway. In the case of this one, which occurs in the sign of Virgo, the main lesson is organization, purification, and alignment with what truly makes sense in practical life. Virgo is a sign associated with structure, details, and refinement, while the moon represents emotions and the inner world. This eclipse reveals where there is disorder and where adjustments are needed. During this period, many people will feel an intense need to reorganize not only their external environment, but also their emotional and mental life. This event can bring about the completion of cycles, especially in areas involving habits, work, and health. If there is something that has been postponed or neglected, This eclipse can act as a trigger for unexpected changes, requiring positioning and concrete choices. Another important aspect is the demand for more clarity and objectivity. Many illusions may dissipate, revealing truths that were previously hidden. People who were insisting on misaligned paths may realize they need to change direction. Relationships that lack solid foundations may be tested, and unresolved issues may come to light to be finally resolved. This is also an excellent time to review health and daily habits. Virgo governs the body and well-being, so this eclipse can serve as a wake-up call for practices that need improvement. Nutrition, sleep, routine, and the balance between productivity and rest can become central themes during this period. To deal with this eclipse consciously, the best thing to do is to embrace the changes instead of resisting them. The more flexible your posture, the easier it will be to adapt to the transformations this event brings. Activities that promote cleansing and purification, such as organizing spaces, meditative practices, and energy baths, can help you get through this moment with more tranquility. This lunar eclipse in Virgo is not bringing difficulties for no reason. It is removing what no longer serves to make way for a new, more aligned, and productive cycle. The essential question this event brings is, what are you ready to let go of, to move forward in a lighter and more authentic way? March is not just any month. It carries within it the strength of cycles closing, opportunities arising, and challenges that test our ability to adapt. For many, it may seem like a turbulent period, full of uncertainties and unexpected twists. But for those who understand its true essence, March is an invitation to maturity and renewal. The astrological transits this month are not happening by chance. Each event, from the lunar eclipse in Virgo to Venus retrograde, is guiding everyone towards a new path. Relationships, habits, choices, and even the way each person perceives their own journey are being questioned. This is not a moment to fear the future, but to ask oneself, what still ties me to the past? Eclipses are portals of change, but the choice to cross them or resist them is individual. Those who try to cling to what no longer makes sense will feel the weight of the transformations more intensely. On the other hand, those who are willing to accept the natural flow of life will notice that many doors are opening, even if, at first glance, they seem like painful closures. With the arrival of the new astrological year and the transition of the Sun into Aries, a new energy will take over the environment. If February brought reflections and March brought the challenge of change, April will be the call to action. But before taking the next step, it is essential to understand what lessons this month has left. March didn't come to be easy, but it came to be necessary. He is giving everyone the chance to redefine their path, abandon old patterns, and make room for new possibilities. The final question that remains is, are you ready to let go of what no longer serves you and allow a new cycle to begin?